caught another one. A Starlight story, just for you.
In a forest far away, life was a simple, sweet rhythm. Every day was a cycle of searching, finding, and telling stories.
So, you see, kids, the moon was moving in the sky and it got stuck between the branches of the oak tree. It couldn't move and the night couldn't end.
Animals big and small sat down and listened to stories for hours. The oldest resident was Elderwood. He was a silent giant, a steadfast guardian who let the animals figure things out for themselves. Then came the afternoon. Rusty the Raccoon lost his most prized possession, his lucky brass bell. He scrambled frantically by the river, but the bell slipped off his tail and was caught deep in the tangled roots of a tree.
Please, somebody help me. Tell me where it is. My precious bell.
Rusty was sad. He just wished somebody would tell him.
The bell is stuck in the tree root, underneath the gray moss, on the older side of the river.
Elderwood had spoken. The forest realized Silent Oak knew everything.
There it is. My bell, Elderwood. I never knew you talked. I never knew you know so much.
And he was willing to help. Rusty found and held the bell, completely astonished, as other animals looked up at the great tree in shock. The news spread like wildfire. Slink the squirrel was the first to rush forward.
Elderwood, where is my biggest winter cache? The one with the prize acorn?
Elderwood's voice guided him, and Slink dug exactly once to find the biggest nut immediately. Bree the beaver was next.
Elderwood, where will the distant storms threaten the river dam? Please tell me. I don't want to have to guess.
Tomorrow, at sundown.
Bree immediately began reinforcing her dam, her work perfectly timed. Life became incredibly easy. No one was ever wrong. No one ever failed to finish what they started, but the joy of trying began to disappear. Why search when the answer was a simple question away? One afternoon, a young fox whispered to his friend,
"Let's play hide and seek. I'll count to 30, you hide. Go, go, go!"
But before the other could even start counting, Elderwood's voice whispered,
Oh, he's over there, just behind the ferns. Check it out.
Oh, come on! This is not fun anymore. I don't want to play. Bye-bye.
The fox sighed, and the two walked away, their tails drooping. The game was over before it began. The crows, once clever problem solvers, stopped bothering to use tools. Twigs and stones, once essential for cracking nuts and reaching grubs, now lay abandoned on the forest floor. Why puzzle when Elderwood already knew the answer to everything? The art of storytelling also faded. One evening, old Barnaby the Badger gathered the young ones to share a tale.
Once upon a time, at night in the forest, my grandfather was looking.
We already know this story. We already know everything you're gonna say. Elderwood already told us.
Elderwood is talking about the Great Flood. The animals quickly drifted away from him, clustering around the tree instead, hungry for facts, not fables. Barnaby sat alone by his log, a lonely figure in a forest that no longer cared for his stories.
Oh, I'm just an old badger. Nobody cares about my stories anymore. I guess there's not much left for me to do, except to sit down here, alone, on this log.
Knowledge was prized, But wisdom and the simple joy of a shared memory were forgotten. That night, Rusty the Raccoon missed the old days.
I miss looking for treasures, not knowing where they are. I miss the hide and seek. I miss being caught by the rain in surprise. What happened to us?
He then told Elderwood all the things he was missing. All the things that made the forest come alive, which were not there anymore. He climbed high on to one of Elderwood's massive branches and looked at the quiet knothole.
Elderwood, are you there? It feels like we are not a forest anymore.
The knothole glowed dimly, and the ancient, tired voice replied,
I see everything, but I remember the delight on your face when you found a shiny rock on your own. You've all stopped enjoying the fun of finding it.
Rusty looked down, a sad smile on his face. He finally understood.
That's it. We miss the thrill. We miss the search. We have to do things for ourselves again. You are here to help, not to decide everything for us.
The next morning, the forest awoke to a natural silence. The knothole, the source of all answers, was covered by a thin, shimmering layer of sap. Elderwood had chosen to listen, not to answer. Slowly, cautiously, the forest remembered how to wonder. They had to live their own stories again, filled with mistakes and missed chances, but also filled with joyful searching, hard-won discoveries, and the simple, priceless thrill of the unknown. And in that quiet, they found their happiness again.
And that is the story of how Elderwood decided to be silent, of how everyone went back to exploring and feeling happy once again.
One day, Elderwood would speak again. When that happened, Elderwood would once again open its mouth, but this time only to provide a gentle help. But the animals would do the playing, the discovering, and the living by themselves. Until then, Elderwood waits.
Rest well, friend, and be sure not to miss the next light that falls from the sky.